Alexa, turn on The Office.
Okay.
So today, October 29th, Shadow held an event in Paris where they dropped an announcement for some pretty big changes. Talking changes so big they're embarrassed to take their shirt off when they go swimming. Changes so big you find yourself wondering if they should have booked 2 plane seats instead of 1. Mark, you're not funny. What changes exactly are you talking about? So in my last video, we went over some of the awesome changes and updates that Shadow have already implemented so far this year and briefly touched on their new hardware tiering system. The starting tier will remain at the current system specifications, but at a lower reduced price. Tier 2 would be improved specification at your current price, and Tier 3 will blow your friggin' mind. Well, today I'm extremely excited that I can finally share the specification and prices of those new hardware tiers with you. 2 quick things to point out: all of the hardware mentioned will be equivalent specifications, not those exact makes and models. That is because we're talking about server level hardware. And also all of the prices given will be in the Queen's Great British Pound and Euros. So kicking it off, what I fuggishly referred to as lower tier is aptly named Shadow Boost, which is the entry level performance, maybe for your casual gamer who's looking to boost the performance of their currently outdated system. The Shadow Boost comes with the same specification that we all currently know and love today, but just a quick recap: that is an NVIDIA GTX 1080 equivalent, a 4-core 3.6 GHz CPU, 12 gigs of RAM, and 256 gigs of storage. This is described as best for the resolution of 1080p, but it is the same as the current system today, where 4K is possible, but for the best performance, you are better off running at 1080p. All of this is now available at the ridiculously low price of $12.99 for a 12-month plan, or $14.99 for a rolling month plan, which is a massive reduction from today's price of $24.95 for a 12-month plan or $31.95 for a rolling month plan. Next, it's finally here. We're finally getting into the brand new higher specification hardware. The next tier is called Shadow Ultra. What exactly do you get? So instead of up to 1080p, Shadow Ultra is described as Ultra HD 4K resolution with ray tracing.
Say what?
Yes, ray tracing is finally available because on this mid-tier, you are getting an RTX 2080 GPU. As well as that, a nice increase with a 4-core 4 GHz CPU, 16 gigs of RAM, and this one comes as default with 512 gigs of storage. Shadow Ultra comes with a price tag that we're more familiar with today, which is $24.99 for the 12-month plan or $29.99 for a rolling monthly plan. And finally, we have the third tier, the crème de la crème, the pièce de résistance, the voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir? I don't know any more French. The final tier is called Shadow Infinite, which again comes with Ultra HD 4K resolution with ray tracing, except this time it's only powered by a friggin' Titan RTX. You know how I said this final tier would blow your friggin' minds? As well as that, we have an increased 6-core 4 GHz CPU, a whopping 32 gigs of RAM, and as default comes with 1 TB of storage to lovingly store your Steam library of games, which one day you'll get round to playing them. I believe in you. All of this comes at a price of $39.99 for a 12-month plan or $49.99 for a rolling monthly plan. This specification right here, it's not just something I want, something I need. And best of all, with all of the tiers, even with their increased performance, users are still only required to have a local download speed of 15 meg. So, questions. Who exactly is this for? Right now, the new tiers will be available for users in the UK, France, and Germany, with possible announcements of expansion later on. So when are these changes taking place? Officially, the new tiers will be implemented in February 2020, but are available to pre-order right now. But you may need to be quick, because the sooner you pre-order your new tier, the more likely you are to have it activated faster in February. But still, stay and finish this video, please. So how exactly do I pre-order? Well, if you're an existing Shadow customer, you can access your account on the Shadow website, head to the subscriptions tab, and there you can choose the tier you want to be on when the changes take place in February. And then obviously your subscription amount won't change until the new tiers are officially implemented. And if you're not already a Shadow customer, let's face it, there's never been a better time. Shameless plug, if you head down to the description, there'll be a link down there for you to sign up and get £10 off your first month subscription. As well as that, I believe there's still units of the Shadow Ghost available. And while you're in your subscriptions tab, you may see one other option available: storage. Sweet, sweet storage. Storage has been a #1 priority for a long time and is also the most commonly asked question by the community, as we discussed in my last video. Each of the new tiers comes with a default amount of storage, 256, 512 or 1 terabyte, but all have availability for additional storage. So if you've been thirsty for that additional storage, you can head on over to your subscriptions tab right now, and while you're pre-ordering the tier of your choice, for an additional $2.99 added on to your new tier price, you can gain an extra 256 gigs of storage. Let's try and do this next bit like an Apple keynote. But that's not all. We've heard you. And you can actually stack that additional storage up to 8 times, which means if you're really fancy, you can add an additional 2 terabytes of storage to your brand new Shadow tier when it's lovingly delivered in February. So with those details of the new tiers, in terms of performance, how exactly does it stack up? And when we're talking about graphical processing, luckily for us, we get to use the word teraflop. So Mark, why are we talking about flops, but nobody's unzipping their pants? Well, you may be familiar with this kind of graphic. It was used by Google to explain the graphical processing power of the new Google Stadia. So we can see here when talking about your average kind of games consoles, they range between 1 and 6 teraflops of graphical processing power. Then we have the Shadow Boost, which is the current configuration and soon to be the starting configuration, coming in at 8.9 teraflops due to its GTX 1080 equivalent GPU. Then we have Google Stadia and their announcement of their service running at a modest 10.7 teraflops. Not bad, but just above that, we have Shadow Ultra coming in at 11.2 teraflops. Sorry about that, Google. And last but not least, we have Shadow Infinite coming in at a reality-shattering 16.3 teraflops. Enough to make your teraflop. Make you teraflop. Make you flop in terra. So you may be thinking, but Mark, Shadow's a gaming PC which you can run on other peripherals, phones, tablets, laptops. Why are we comparing it to games consoles and Google Stadia? It's like apples and oranges. Well, the announcements aren't over, people. Alexa, play something triumphant.
Play something triumphant.
I had no idea what she was going to play then. Available in beta from today is a brand new Shadow Android app which allows you to bring a real console gaming experience straight to your TV with the power of Shadow. The new Android app allows you to get straight into your games through your TV without having to navigate that pesky Windows interface, and the new UI allows you to browse the games installed on your Shadow or on services like Steam. The new app is available to be downloaded on Android OS smart TVs, Android internet boxes, or you know what? The Shadow Ghost, which you can pretty much plug into any screen and has Bluetooth built into it for that controller connectivity. And then there's one more announcement to come out of the Shadow event, something to do with VR, details of which are being shared directly at the Shadow event today, which you may have noticed. I'm not in Paris right now. So if more details become available on that, I'll be sure to update you here on the channel. So to be sure you're kept up to date with announcements like that and all things Shadow, remember to subscribe to the channel and turn on those notifications. Let me know in the comments down below which one of the tiers you are most excited for, which one you're going to get, and most importantly, which game you're going to play first with ray tracing. But if you enjoyed the video or found it somewhat useful, a thumbs up would be appreciated. Again, if you haven't already, remember to subscribe to the channel. And as always, I shall see you in the next one.